Jeff Free TV, where I'm your host, Jeff Luffman. I talk about topics that interest me. This morning, interested in gratitude and playing the game. It's time. It's time to play the game. It's time to go to therapy. But I just been to therapy. What type of therapy? And how you play it? And if you can take it. So, doing some content creation on YouTube. I'm playing the game. Leaving jujitsu this morning. I am grateful for my experience today, July 1st, on the mats. It was, um, let's see, it was, let's see, 8 rounds with good white belts, good blue belts, and a good black belt. And how do I know they're good? Because they win competitions. And the best part today, I start off with my homie, and this is to uplift and encourage, not to kiss and tell. But boom, right off the bat, my homie hits me with a triangle. Dude, I'm moving at a warm up pace. And so is he, but he slaps a triangle on me. And I have my defense in, and I have the hip locked in, and my arm is here. And this one's kind of getting straightened out. And I was in a position that I didn't want to be in no more. I didn't want to start my day with whatever that was. So I tapped and kept it moving. I was like, tap. I might be able to fight through this, but dude, at what cost? So my homie tapped me in the first 10 seconds. 4 stripe white belt, and he's good. He's winning. And it was great, as it should be. I hope it's both exactly what we needed. It was what I needed. And I had the harder rounds, but the tougher opponents were at the end of the day, were the seventh and eighth round. So, am I black? I got dark circles under my eyes. It's about the only dark meat I got. If it's about the way I talk, I've lived in so many places, including the south of the United States, Texas, and Hawaii. So I'm sure I don't speak the Queen's English. I've lived in Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia, Germany, Hawaii, and then none of those people know how to speak fucking English. Oh, and St. Louis, which definitely don't speak fucking English. Country grammar to the day I die. Don't ask me what country. Do I have kids? Yes, by DNA test, I have kids. I have a DNA test for one of my children that I know. Boom. That one's for sure mine. I think the other three are for sure mine, but I don't have the DNA results. And the DNA testing, I'm going to tell you about DNA testing. I've done a couple companies, and I hear it's like not good, that they can like reverse engineer your clone, and they probably have an army of me in some deep underground bunker somewhere, which I would hope so. That would be amazing. Um, 100,000 doppelgangers of me, maybe the armies defense bill when they harvested my tissue when they first enlisted me. Maybe that's when they got and made my doppelganger. Maybe somewhere in some galaxy far, far away, there's several clone armies of me from taking that DNA test. And man, wouldn't that be amazing? It's interesting that during the George W. Bush administration, they outlawed cloning. And it's like, bro, if the government just outlawed cloning, you know that just means they went hard as fuck studying cloning in a deep underground bunker somewhere. And they've probably been doing it since forever. Since forever. You know? You ever seen the H.G. Wells movie about time travel with the people that live above ground and people that live below ground, like the Murlocs and the Eloys or whatever? It's like, whoa, that was a documentary. Yeah, so the results of this DNA test. I did one that indicated like 20% from like southern central Europe, like north of the boot of Italy, south of Germany, like whatever that is. And then there's that my blood type is O negative. Which it's the negative rhesus gene. The rhesus gene is supposedly has a relationship with the rhesus monkey, but I don't believe that stuff. I don't believe it. I don't know exactly what the rhesus gene is, but I don't think it's from a monkey. But who knows? This gentleman here, John, he works this area of the highway. Morning, John. How's it going, brother? God bless you.
Okay.
God bless you.
Yes, sir. And you have a nice day.
You too. God bless you, brother.
God bless you too. Thank you, sir.
He's lost a lot of weight, but he works that position of Kings Highway and Highway 64 by the St. Louis Science Center. He wheels his wheelchair over to that median in that on-ramp section every day and panhandles. And I would say hello to him. In a lot of ways, he's probably one of the hardest working dudes I see every day. He's always there. And he's out there all day long. It's an interesting existence to live. What an interesting human being. On Instagram this morning, I was discussing the experience of Tuesday morning jiu-jitsu in July during the summer. Headed into the gym and knowing that it's going to be a room full of killers. And it's always a room full of killers, to be honest with you. A little traffic for the summertime. Just a little touch of traffic. Little St. Louis traffic. It's what I used to like about living in Hawaii. During the summertime, the traffic was considerably better. How many of y'all think that DNA tests should be mandatory at the time the birth certificate's filled out? Dude, you can't handle the truth. I've once served with a soldier, a senior NCO, a senior sergeant first class, who was the most fun guy to serve with. I'd put him in my top 10 guys that I ever served with as far as competency. Like, dude, if you got any task, whatever crazy task you got from it's one of those things where, hey, man, you need to go get, XYZ number of soldiers. You need to go get this vehicle, get this, go to this place, pick up this, do this with it, be safe all day, and then go take it back, bring those guys home, account for your shit, make sure it's clean, and go home. If you had to do that, which that's pretty much always an Army mission, but I mean, like, you'd want this guy doing it. Dude, and give you a shout out, he's what would be called a low density MOS. But with low density MOS, that just means that there aren't a lot of senior leaders in that particular field. But in order to get to a level of senior leader in that field, you're phenomenal. You have to be phenomenal in every way, every measurement. And so this guy was. And not only that, fun to be around. Fun. That's the best thing about him. If you were on this mission and you had all those criteria, this dude would show up and all that stuff would happen, and there'd be some point in time where you're like, damn, I can't believe it. And the food would be good, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be done right in every way, and it would be fun. He had this old man mask that he would wear. It was like one of the first generation realistic masks. And so it was real, looked fairly real. It was an old man mask. It looked fairly real from 50 feet away or so, you know what I'm saying? So he'd show up in the company area or whatever in that mask. It was just funny, man. Anyway, what about him? At one point, he found out that his wife, I was going to say his wife that he's married to, yeah, no shit, that his wife, he did a DNA test on their 4 children were his. I wasn't there for this event, for his revelation. This was him telling me about it after years of experience and living through it. So he was telling us it was funny. You know what I mean? He had made it funny in his life. But we can all understand that finding out that these, and it's not this just that he found out these 4 children weren't his. Obviously, he was raising them as his, going to work every day, dealing with all he was dealing with. Because, let's face it, if none of those 4 children are yours, your wife was busy with all the dudes that were around you. And it makes your life weird, and for him to be able to continue to be promoted and go through that and not accumulate some kind of negative paper in his file or something that would hold him back. Because you know what happens in that moment? Not the person that had 4 children that aren't yours, they don't run toward accountability. They run toward, let me leverage this situation to totally try to potentially end this dude. Because the only way to defend myself is to destroy this guy's credibility. So, it's not only that he's married to someone who's sneaking, she's actively got access to all this good stuff while plotting to take it all. While have taken everything. She already took everything from him, dude. That moment he found out none of these 4 kids you've been getting up and dealing with their fucking bitch ass mom and all that shit, dude, on a daily basis. Because let's face it, dude, if she's out running the fucking streets, she ain't being fucking kind and gentle to him, dude. She ain't being supportive. She's fucking with him all the time to keep him off balance so he can't figure out what the fuck's going on. Or maybe he doubles down and stays at his job. He's the guy that don't want to go home until 11 o'clock every night. And that's why he's so good at his job. I don't know. But here's the deal. The version of him I knew, he was awesome. He was fun, competent, everything that you would want. He's just not the father. And that changes everything, don't it? And what do you think he would have done at baby number 1 if they would have been standing in whatever army hospital and that army civilian nurse would have said, "Sir, you are not the father. We did this DNA test." And then on down the line, do you think a mom should be telling the child, "Hey, your dad wanted to DNA test you because he wasn't sure if you were mine"? Like that's somehow a slight on the father for wanting to verify the DNA in the child is theirs, right? And that's the gaslighting by the feminist movement. Is, dude, you don't even get to know if that baby's yours because it will cause us distress. We are gonna feel harassed and distressed if you find out that baby that we're telling you is yours is not yours. We might even feel stalked. We might even say that you're stalking us then. because we will have then known that we are no longer comfortable around you. You make us feel uncomfortable with the fact that you know that we have been lying to you about something so important, that we know now that you're dangerous and we need to be protected from you. Right? And that starts the whole court circus starting. Right? Now we get to go into family court, and right off the bat, the non-custodial parent, or the parent that's not in severe conflict right off the bat, has got to prove themselves. We can't just look at it on its face and say, hey man, look, this dude right here, right, this dude right here wanted to be equal. And from the moment he filed a motion requesting equal parenting time, the other parent lost their ever loving fucking mind. Right? And used every state agency to try to gain any advantage, to try to discredit and harm the other parent. You know what I'm saying? While telling the child things like, oh, your dad wasn't there when you were born. Oh, well, actually I was, honey. Here's the pictures. Here's me holding you. Here's me holding you for the first time. I was totally there. Right? And then so what does that do to that little 6-year-old in the moment? Where her mom, she knows her mom just fucking lied to her. There's my dad with me in the hospital with my mom, and my mom told me that my dad wasn't there. So now I gotta go stay with my mom. And in order for me to survive with my mom, I gotta buy into my mom's lie that my dad wasn't there when I've seen video evidence to the contrary. And every time I show any expression of love or any type of positivity about my relationship with my father, my mom gets fucking pissed. Right? And so over time the child learns to, I fucking can't enjoy my dad or my mom's gonna get pissed. And since I'm with my mom most of the fucking time, it's better when she's not pissed. And that's what happens. Because no kid wants to live in conflict. But the thing about it is, then that parent who's willing to take the other parent out of it, dude, what are they doing? You know, what are they doing? Why would that be the goal? Why would that be the goal, to limit the child's interaction with their other parent? You know, and then what's the root cause of that? What is the root cause of that? When in a world where we could choose cooperation, why would the choice be to be uncooperative? What would we gain? Do we gain control? And then can we actually control the situation? And constitutionally protected to be on here and talk about what's going on. And to be surrounded by a court system that's willing to convict me for it. Willing to not follow the law because it's somebody's agenda. And so then we get this whole entire system of people who are willing to break the law because someone else broke the law, as a favor to someone else who broke the law. And it starts involving to teachers, social workers, healthcare providers, everybody that interacts with the child. Because when the other parent walks in and says, hey, you can't talk to the other parent, I'm the person you talk to. right? When they do that, that's not true. And it creates a terrible environment, right? The other environment it creates is got a parent withholding medical and dental information. I'm cruising along, and now all of a sudden I got people fucking calling me left and right trying to collect fucking bills about fucking shit. I have no idea where the fuck my kids fucking been going. And I'm on court orders to pay the co-pays and medical bills and dental bills. And I have no knowledge of what's happening, no medical records, no verification, right, of what took place. And now we're just going to charge you $600 for a hearing test. It's like, oh really? A hearing test is $600? You know what I'm saying? And then instead of coordinating so that I could be at my child's test, right? You told me it was at a different location. And then wouldn't tell me where it was at. That's crazy. So basically, the uncooperative parent gets to be uncooperative and basically tell the court it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason. Reason, ma'am, because he's a bad guy. Well, what evidence do you got? Well, no. What's your other defense? Well, you shouldn't listen to anything he says. You should dismiss all his evidence. Just procedurally, we don't understand what he's saying, and we can't, and we don't see the issue. So we're going to argue. Oh, you know, the other thing is we're going to argue an argument that's illegal. Or here was the best one in court yesterday when the other party's attorney, when they basically gave their expert witness that the court system doesn't do recordings of hearings. I was like, wow. So I said, hey, Your Honor, I just want to preserve for the record that he just said that it's common for Madison County not to record hearings in family court. And I made a counter argument that Rule 46 says you got to record them. And Rule 46 does not give no distinction of a case management hearing. It says nothing about it. If you want to call it something else, if it's producing orders or it's impacting people's lives, which, dude, and here's the thing. When I went for the December 18th hearing, bro, it was a fucking circus in that courtroom. It was a complete fucking circus. I was shocked. I was fucking shocked. It was one judge, and no exaggeration, more than 10 lawyers. Probably 3 court officials, probably clerks, no recorder. Absolutely no recorder. No ability to record, right? And this isn't criminal court. This is family court. This is more than 10 family court lawyers standing around talking about their cases to each other before they go to the judge, right? And then the judge listens to them and says, yeah, that's what we're going to do, right? None of the parties are there. It's basically a situation where they just go in and kick the can down the road another month, another 3 months, right? And they do this over and over and over off the record. And it's normal. And it might be normal, but it's not within Rule 46, Alpha and C, Alpha and Charlie. But here's the deal, even in the civil, in the civil cases I got and the criminal cases I got, Guess what? No record. 3 judges now, no record. And the stuff that I do have recorded, oh, sir, something happened with the owl on this when we were trying to record it, and large sections of it are missing. Right? So more than once it's happened to me. More than once it's happened to me that a trial that I was in was either fully not recorded, which has happened 6 fucking times. 6 fucking times, dude. 6 fucking times with 3 judges. And you can't claim that we got the discretion to not give a fucking citizen an appeal.